This just came out, and it's on the Incognito Mode channel, and it's called Hobbies. Well, let's see.
Brought to you by Waldorf Tanks. Hobbies. Hobbies. What are hobbies? Is rock climbing a hobby?
Oh. Well, I guess that's the end of it. Good video. Good video. 10 out of 10. Would watch again.
All this
Man,
and
he's-
more on In the Field. All right, so do you have any hobbies?
I do, actually. I have many.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
swindling larger YouTube channels, that's probably the biggest one. But outside of that, I play Dungeons & Dragons every week.
Nerd.
Okay, well,
Dungeons and Dragons is something I wish I could get into. I just don't have the time commitment. You have to play it once a week, and you have to dedicate so much time to it. And like, if one person can't make it, it's probably just, everything's going to go to hell. So, ugh. But man, oh my god, I wish I could. It's so much fun the few times I've been able to play.
No, sorry, carry on. Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was on. Carry on.
do you just have a big red button that you push to mute
Yeah,
when you want to
yeah.
yell slurs? Tell me about your hobbies.
The older you get, the more maintenances around the house become your hobbies. I do quite a lot of gardening.
Old green thumb, eh?
I'm not amazing at keeping the plants alive or fruiting, but
I am good at keeping them.
yeah. Once in a while, landscaping as well. Like I rent the diggers and then I smooth out the dirt.
What did he just say? What word did he just say? I'm just joking. He said dig. Ers.
And such. Otherwise, I watch a lot of YouTube.
So that's interesting because I don't.
Interesting.
I don't know if that makes me a bad YouTuber or a good one because...
Oh, I've got my hand in the air. I have the answer to this one, minute clearly.
The answer is gonna be yes. If you're a YouTuber, you probably need to spend less time on YouTube.
Am I a good YouTuber or not?
Bad! I want to guess bad YouTuber. Carry on, mini kudos.
Was it the awful videos or the lack of uploads?
I'd say both, sir.
Well, Timmy, maybe one day you too can put off uploading to your YouTube channel. Something I find interesting but I'd never do is those people who go like, I know what you call it, like dredging or magnet fishing, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Where you see these videos on YouTube and TikTok, which are probably like faked a lot of the time, but I'm sure they still, you find there just so many guns.
I love that stuff. Watching people panning for gold, people like looking around with metal detectors and stuff. In fact, I was so into that stuff for a while, this is before I had a YouTube channel, that I bought a metal detector. And I went to the store and I'm like, come on, we're going to go down to a thing. We're going to go to a park or something. And we're going to find a creek and we're just going to like metal detect around. As soon as I had the metal detector in my hand, I was so embarrassed. I just felt embarrassed. I can't explain it.
The reality set in that you'd have to be the guy going metal detecting.
Yeah, and we went down to like this creek, and on the way there, you'd pass by people and you'd kind of like try to push the metal detector kind of.
Yeah, it's not a good look to have a metal detector. You just seem like one of those weirdos, because all you're gonna find is trash, or maybe someone's a lost watch or earring or something. And Zerum, I like the music. It was very, very hype. Thank you for the music in the Discord.
Kind of behind their line of sight so they wouldn't see you. And then we got down there and boy, that metal detector was a real piece of shit. I didn't have much money at the time, so I just bought like the cheapest one. And so it only made a beeping noise when there wasn't anything.
That is the worst scenario.
That still works. Just, it means you found something if it stops beeping. It's just, annoying.
It still works, but it's now incredibly annoying.
Loud and awful, yeah.
On the other day, that her story's so mad she leaves you and you have to walk home that day.
We didn't find anything except like one bottle cap, and then like on the way back we're like, oh, there's a beach. All right, fine, I'm gonna try the beach, and couldn't find anything. We're making this really loud fucking noise. People are looking at us, and then I went, all right, I'm not finding anything here. Hold on, and I threw $2 into the sand. To see if the thing would pick it up. It not only didn't pick it up, but then I lost the $2 in the sand. I lost money.
It's just, you lost money with I've never heard of someone using a metal detector and losing money in the process, other than, buying the metal detector. Oh my god. Oh, internet historian, why? Oh my god.
Stupid fucking hobby, and I haven't been metal detecting ever since.
It's his fault. You bought the cheapest one. It's probably not that good of a hobby, but if you're gonna buy something, don't buy the cheapest one. Of course it's gonna be busted. Nah, tuna's fine. Tuna's a good sandwich.
I
Zero.
would quite like to get into pigeon racing.
Okay.
I met a
That's a
guy
thing?
who bred and raced pigeons.
Okay.
What?
And it is fascinating. They'll race these things over, like 400 kilometers.
Oh, wow.
And it'll come, like, down to the wire.
Yeah.
It is really cool the way they breed these particular pigeons and, like,
Okay.
this one has particular stamina, but this one has a lot of speed.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can keep pigeons basically the same way you keep chickens. But they just sit there and make this noise like,
That's a really good pigeon noise.
oh, thank you. Instead of like,
Okay, well, he did a pigeon noise, now I gotta do one. I don't know if that
like a
worked.
chicken does, right? And chickens are awful and they stink, but pigeons are just like, hey, I'm purring like a cat,
I also don't like pigeons, but I will give you that they are quieter and less smelly than chickens.
Yes.
Yep.
Possibly.
Can you imagine how much worse New York City's, like, sanitation would be if instead of pigeons, it was chickens? Yeah.
Less tasty too, though. But my only issue with something like pigeon racing,
Welcome,
is
Agent
because
Chicken.
I'm assuming it's somewhat of a niche sport. I would feel like I'd want like cool video game stats involved. Like if I was going to be breeding these little suckers, I'd want to have like a UI where I can be like, here's this guy's speed rating out of 10.
They do that.
What the fuck?
They have these little
What?
ankle bracelet things, and then they have like a QR code on them, and then they have like these websites online that take all of their
What?
stats and track them by GPS and do all this stuff. It's like crazy.
That's like sports.
All right, I'm gonna stop streaming. I'm gonna give up on that. I'm gonna become a professional pigeon racer. So check me out on my new pigeon racing YouTube channel.
Stats, but for birds.
Pigeons
And
are
you know
sky
what?
rats.
Here's how you race a pigeon, right?
You throw it really hard.
You go to the starting line, and then you let it go, and then you sit in a chair having a few drinks, and then someone's going to call you on the phone in a few hours and tell you that you won or lost. It's brilliant.
Can you imagine you let your pigeon go and you just lose it? It doesn't come back. It didn't go to the finish line. It's just gone. And like you spent a lot of time and money trying to raise it and train it, everything, and you're like, where the fuck did that little rat go? Whew. Oh, thank you, Agent Chicken, for the first sponsor for my pigeon racing. Thank you.
Oh, but the thought of that is really funny.
Yeah, and it's like, once you win, then you can put this pigeon out to stud like a bull. This one's the fastest. Well, now it's worth like 100 grand. Come on. And you put it in a cage with like 200 female pigeons.
And you play romantic pigeon music.
Yeah, exactly. And you know that this is just going to be the greatest moment of this pigeon's life. It's fucking hilarious.
My problem is pigeons suck, and I think something like a hawk or something seems way cooler to breed.
Hawks are
Oh,
pretty cool. Well, hawks are the natural enemy of the pigeon, you see.
So what you're saying is I should breed hawks and you should breed pigeons.
No.
We'll see who wins.
oh.
No, keep yours away from my... It's not fair. Ad time. World of Tanks sponsorship. Sandra, have you heard...
I'm not skipping this because his ads, his sponsorships are fucking amazing. It costs $50 for a kebab. Your mom got ripped off.
about this new free-to-play MMO with over 160 million players? The best thing about World of Tanks is not just that it's free, which it is that they're continuously pumping out new content. Like an old drainpipe in the Philippines, there's a constant flow of content into the greater ocean. Did you know you can enjoy
Quote-unquote
World
content.
of Tanks on a console or on the mobile phone? All you have to do is call up this number and you tell them where you want to move. Yeah, go 5 yards forward. Fire. Did I hit it?
I read it wrong. Sorry.
Now, Sandra, this
Kayak?
game is set in the
$50 kayak? That's a good
All
deal.
of the animals have gone
That's a good
extinct
deal.
Except for the tank.
Now, can I get
but
a
then
tank for $50?
World war breaks out between them.
Hey Mohammed, I heard there's only one tank in the whole game.
That's not true, Sandra. In fact, there are lots of different classes of tank. You can be a healing tank, you can be a stealth tank, you can even be a druid tank. This is downtown London before
I don't know if
any
that's
sort
true.
of conflict happened.
I don't know if that's
really
true.
Reminds me of a war I can't mention, Sandra. So go to the link below and use the code COMBAT. We'll give you a Cromwell B premium tank, 250,000 credits, 7 days World Tank premium account time, plus 3 rental premium tanks. By the way, they sent us some promo stuff, and some of these are like ads that have Arnold Schwarzenegger in them, and Mila Jokovic and Chuck Norris. I don't know why they sent
What?
me this, but it's brilliant. Look at this.
Also, they collaborate with Girls und Panzer.
Oh, I actually like that one, and same with Valkyria Chronicles. It's a good game. You know, Sandra, I heard they're adding a dating sim to World of Tanks. Oh, Cromwell Summer. My barrel is all filled with ash and debris. Take this pipe cleaner and go to town.
Oh,
Sandra,
Pigeon.
how come you're in that tank right now?
I don't know.
Oh, stop. You're destroying the whole set.
Oh no!
So click on the link in the description below and use code COMBAT to get a whole bunch of stuff. Look at this stuff.
It's so good that people within the military will just leak national secrets to make sure that the things are as accurate as possible. Maybe one day I'll do a World of Tank streams. Maybe one day. You guillotine! Wait, how is this a hobby?
What the worst hobby is?
What?
Candle making.
Really?
Oh, what's the fucking point? Go down to the store and buy a big candle for $1, or if you want a scented one, they're everywhere. Like, I don't understand why people are making their own candles. There's one fun part about candle making, which is that you can dip your hand in the hot wax, and then you've got like a claw thing that you can start, peeling away.
It is surprising that is.
Go back. Go back. Without the context, this image is very sus. If you didn't know what was going on and I just showed you this picture, you'd be like, Rave, what are you watching? Also, what do you mean, what's the point of candle making? What's the point of pigeon racing? You just do it because you have fun.
Peeling away.
It is surprising that isn't some kind of therapeutical thing, because that seems like somewhere like, have you been to the wax dipping?
Yes! Yeah, they got those smoke pots and acupuncture and shit. Why don't they have
acupuncture.
wax dipping?
That's the perfect massage thing, because it kind of hurts, like a lot of those kind of treatments. Acupuncture, massaging. There's like a pain element to them, but there's also like a satisfaction element to them, where afterwards you feel like and then afterwards your skin would probably feel real like moisturized or something.
Yeah, because you would sweat.
Trains, on the other hand, I could see trains, because trains are like, that's a bit of a novelty. Like an old train's kind of cool to ride on.
This is
Oh god, this video. They didn't show the rest of the video with the guy with his big forehead looking thing because of the camera. Aw. Would I take a World of Tank sponsorship depending on what the sponsorship entails? Probably.
And it's got like this tiny train. And there's a little conductor dude that sits at the front. And he just gives rides like all day.
That's awesome.
I was enjoying the hell out of that. And I understood it all of a sudden.
Yeah, you're just suddenly all the cynicism that went into your early videos washes away. That's why you only upload twice a year now.
Yes, and I'm just too obsessed with trains now. Oh, is that the DC-45? Running on time, I see.
Would you tie a woman to the tracks? Do you reckon that? Do they ever do that? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, did that ever happen?
I would presume so. I would presume that's a pretty...
I don't know. That seems like something that people would just come up with for a movie. I don't know. I doubt someone actually did. Or if it has happened, I would say it probably happened where the movies did it first, and then somebody was like, you know what? I like that idea.
good way of taking someone out.
That has to be one of the most horrible way. Like, you're going to be mincemeat 100% chance. There's no way you're getting out of that.
Throw that one up, Jamie.
Well, I mean, it's
Does
fast.
anyone ever get tied to the railroad track? When did they start using the guillotine? That was around the 1700s, wasn't it? And that's like the same time that the train was around. Why didn't they just use the train?
Well, a bit messy to clean up, I think. You can't just have a train running around covered in gore all the time.
Yeah, true.
You know what's crazy about
Yeah, you can. That'd be sick. It's just a train that goes around a very small track, and it's just you don't clean it. It's just got blood and gore and people's entrails and hands and arms and everything on it, just 24/7. It just keeps getting more and more. It's like, man, that's a really cool bright red train. It was actually black originally.
the guillotine is the last, government issued guillotining in France happened when the first Star Wars movie was in theaters.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like the
What?
1970s or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like way later than you'd think.
Yeah. Do you reckon it hurts?
I actually think about that more often than I should, because they say that your brain activity still kicks
yeah.
around for a good 30 seconds afterwards.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Do you reckon you're just like, fuck, Wow, this sucks.
Well, you'd land in the basket and then you'd be all nauseous, right? Because you'd be like, you'd spin and then land upside down. And you'd be
Actually, I'm pretty sure there was a doctor at one of the guillotines that he was going to be decapitated, and the doctor was like, I'm going to be there to test some stuff. And as soon as he got his head chopped off, he like kept yelling the guy's name, and like the guy's eyes looked up at him and then like looked back down and everything. Like it was like he was saying like, yeah, I hear you. Because the guy who got decapitated was told like, hey, I'm going to try to talk to you after you get decapitated to find out if you're still alive or not. You're going to die. But if you could cooperate, that'd be awesome. So yeah, that keeps me up at night as well. The fact that they might have been like, oh, I'm just ahead now, and this is very painful, and I can't do shit for however long.
like, my face is right up against this wicker. This is terrible.
Yeah, this just sucks.
You know, then you might be a bit bored for a little while, like just waiting.
We're just going to watch this one.
I hate thinking about this. This is like
For today.
This is stressing me out. Like it's something I have to do later.
Okay, what would be the worst part about getting
We're going to Dark
guillotined?
Souls
'Cause I
after.
suppose the blade is quick, at least. There would be a moment just before you put your head in it that you get really close to the guillotine and you kind of have this thought that's like, oh, this is really dangerous.
I should
Do
be
you know
doing.
what I mean?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like when you get too close to it, like a bandsaw or...
Yeah, you
know,
get like a
something
tingle in your
shot glass.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got it. Right. So what you do is
Yeah.
underneath you want to have a bit of a lever, like a seesaw, and then you have the basket there. So the moment it cuts through, your head falls off, it launches your head straight into the air, and then it's kind of like, whoa, I get to see the whole crowd.
That'd be the worst if it like only cut through halfway.
Yeah, or it gets stuck.
Oh, that did happen.
And then they
You have to
try
like
lift-
pull it up again.
and then that's pulling your neck as well.
And they just kind of like they just stand above and just kick the back of your head.
Just shoot me.
We're gonna need a couple fellas just to jump up and down on the blade, please. Oh, here's the problem. You tied a bloody knot in the rope. It's caught against the... It's like caught against the wooden beam.
This is very morbid.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about other ways to do the guillotine. Because you could have them at the very top.
You drop them onto the.
Yeah. Or you have an
That'd be
enormous
so
spring
much worse.
underneath the blade. So everyone has to kind of pull, and then it goes off.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like you're loading. This feels like if like as seen on TV, infomercials invented a guillotine. Like, aren't you sick and tired of that normal guillotine? And they invent this weird double-sided guillotine that can.
Oh
Like,
my
Slices
god.
and dices. And 3 payments of $39.95 plus postage. And the old person tries to drop the blade, but then they just kind of fall over, and then they're
yeah, they try and pull on the rope, and then they just immediately go and turn to the camera, like holding their wrist. What about one that's like a fan, and it's like
oh yeah, so you just keep sliding people through it.
like a conveyor, and then have them turned into little.
You could just put them in like a wood chipper. You could just send them down one of those things that chops the logs in half that you see in those movies that whenever they run inside of a lumber mill, someone always falls onto it and is about to get chopped in half by the saw. Just do that. You could just do that.
Slices.
Oh yeah, that would be quite nice. Yeah, we're essentially describing a deli slicer, but yeah.
Electric chair. That sounds pretty bad, but I feel like it'd be pretty quick.
Okay, so
Would it?
how do we improve the electric chair? I'm thinking what you do is instead of one big shock, just thousands of little shocks.
They just randomly occur all over your body.
Yeah, it's like you're constantly licking a 9-volt battery.
Yeah.
What if they just tape the battery to your tongue and then walk away and go,
It does 1 damage at a time, but eventually... Well, that's just death by 1,000
Welcome,
cuts. 'cause
Oka.
It's death by 1,000 small shocks.
oh, fuck.
I wonder if you did just cover someone in wet 9-volt batteries, like whether you would die from starvation or like electrical current.
I think eventually, like, your muscles must just give out.
But it's like the muscles, it'd be your heart or brain that like gives
Yeah,
out.
yeah, your heart would give out. Yeah, that would be it. Yeah. You'd just get overexerted.
Yeah, okay, hold on. What if...
Oh, what if you had to like execute somebody, but you just you force them to keep drinking caffeine, like the highest caffeine stuff imaginable. Is like keep drinking it. You're just gonna die from a heart attack. Your heart's gonna give out, and that's how you're gonna die. And yes, we're reacting to this.
Electrical chair, but there's a phone to play Family Guy on it while you die.
What if like Oh shit! I just lost it.
Did the Family Guy phone flashbanged you?
Throwing flashbang.
It just wiped your brain like a Men in Black clicker.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine a Men in Black if instead you didn't see anything and they held up Family Guy funny moments compilation.
We're doing Dark Souls later.
One of those
After this.
things that I got interested in for quite a while.
Oysters.
Was oysters.
Oysters.
Yeah.
Oysters.
Yeah, I just thought they were really interesting.
You went on oysters.com?
I
What?
don't know what that is. It won't be good though. And I went to this oyster tour in Tasmania, and they were just telling about all these like really interesting
Thanks for coming
things
by,
about
Oka.
oysters. So yeah, we used to have these piles and piles of shells. We would burn them and turn them into lime. Oh, really? Okay.
Sure.
Okay, what the fuck is lime? I don't even know what that is. I've heard of it, not like the fruit. But I don't know what that is. They're just saying it matter of fact.
Yeah, so anyway, most oysters are about 7 years old, and here's how they mate.
Let me get some of that oyster seed.
Wait a minute. Don't oysters, like male oysters, have the biggest penis to body size ratio of any animal? Just saying.
Yeah, I think it's a clam, not an oyster. But there's a picture where like they put a bunch of salt in front of a clam, and its big gross tongue like flops out and licks up all the salt.
Ooh.
Have you seen that?
No.
Let me find that.
What?
It is interesting.
Pull
Play
that
it.
one up, Jamie. It's doing it.
Isn't
What
that fucked
the?
up?
Yeah, they're pretty awful.
I just want to
Oh,
fucking slam my fist down on it when its tongue's out.
Do you reckon it pulls its tongue out and goes, ooh, salty?
Yeah, well, that's because if it hated salt, but then like it also has to use its tongue as its like primary means of transportation, so it has
What
to
the
like put
fuck?
its tongue in the salt to get away from the salt. It's kind of like it's like a saw trap almost.
Yes, why hasn't anyone done saw but for animals? Yes. You always
I can think of a lot of reasons.
Well, now there's salt around and stuff.
What if there was a Saw movie where he just did it to like innocuous animals? No one gave a shit about like clams and like deep sea anglerfish.
You're always just swimming around in the dark. Now you're sellotaped to a 800-watt light bulb.
See, if I became super uber rich, that's what I would want to do. I just want to do random shit like that. It's like, oh yeah, there's this new movie out by RaveSpecter. And literally all it is just like paint drying for 3 hours.
He's having like a mussel and
Dancing
clam
sombrero rave, you got
stew,
it.
But
There you
he
go.
throws them all in a pot and then turns the water on to boil. And he goes, here I have set up a trap. You must escape before the water boils. But he always intended just to have a stew.
Yeah, exactly. He just watches as they boil because they're fucking like clams and they can't do anything.
Now comes the warm butter.
No!
If you do not escape in 10 seconds, you'll be enveloped in fresh cream which will permeate into your lungs and tongue, rendering you unable to move. What's
they
an
have
animal
lungs?
you'd like to see in a saw trap?
Sometimes I see those birds that are like, they're usually water birds, and they've got these very long, slender legs. I just think, God, that would be satisfying just to walk over and be like, snap that.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't actually want to hurt it, but
Man, he's a little psychotic, isn't he? And now I'm gonna be thinking about that. I've never had that thought, but now that he said it, watch out, birds. Coming.
Like a breadstick.
yeah, it's kind of, I'm not going to, but it's kind of like, you know, when
Sure.
your mate is showing off a brand new pencil,
Oh yeah, and you just
and he's like, I love this thing. I've sharpened it perfectly. And you just want to reach over and snap it. In my head, all this stuff is absolutely hilarious. And
Is that a normal occurrence? Do people show off their pencils to people? Is this a euphemism that's going over my head?
real life, one time there was this mouse that got caught in a mouse trap at our place, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't finish him, so I had to let him go free in the park.
Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to do that either.
Yeah,
I feel like
me
my
neither.
problem with Saw is, or just any horror movie really, which is another hobby a lot of people seem to love that I just don't understand. People never deserve it,
No.
which I guess is kind of the point, but when it's like, oh, just some teacher who didn't like appreciate their family enough or something, it's like this person doesn't deserve to have their like face cut in half.
Yeah, no, that's that's a sort of
Yeah.
lesson that you would learn over the course of a lifetime to like appreciate your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that one's gonna work itself out.
You've just given them PTSD. You haven't solved anything.
The heck? Oh,
One
now we're on
time,
Dungeons and
I
Dragons.
Dungeoned and Dragons.
Okay, interesting. When was this?
I was invited to do some D&D stuff back in my university days. I showed up on a Saturday. It was about 1 in the afternoon, and we were there until about 7 o'clock, and we had to call it quits at 7 o'clock because the host's mum was coming home then. In that
Aw.
6 hours, I think we managed to play for about an hour. And then the other 3 hours were spent setting up the game, and the other 2 arguing about the rules.
So you had the authentic experience, is what you're saying?
I am amazed that anyone gets to do more than about 15 minutes of gaming per 4-hour session. You got any D&D story?
Seriously.
You Killer Man?
I remember one time I went to a card store to buy some cards, and they were having like their weekly D&D night where like a whole bunch of different tables were all set up for people to play D&D.
Yeah.
And there's a guy sitting at one of them who had head to toe full Deadpool merch on.
Oh.
He had a Deadpool hat, he had a Deadpool jumper on, the jeans, I believe, probably just regular jeans, but they were black to fit with the color scheme.
Yeah.
And then he had
I'm getting the feeling that that guy likes Deadpool. Now don't quote me on
red
that.
and black sneakers, which I don't know if they were Deadpool branded, but they were definitely, continuing the color scheme.
You know what? Maybe it was like a bad coincidence. Like, maybe these are all the things he doesn't usually wear. Because, okay, this happened to me once, right? Somehow, when I was like 11, I think my mum had bought me a camouflage shirt and camouflage shorts.
Oh.
And so, like my dad, right, he kind of wanted me to be a bit of a snob for some reason when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
So he used to take me to the driving range all the time. And I remember looking in my closet and going, oh, I don't have anything except this camouflage shirt and these camouflage shorts that I never wear. And so I just had to wear both of those. And so I looked like I was going to the military.
What are you talking about? Nobody's gonna see you. You're in camouflage. You're not gonna be seen. You're
At age
fine.
11. And I remember distinctly, like, we were waiting to go in, and there's these 2 absolute strangers who walk by in the other direction and they salute. And I just died.
Fucking
That's probably what happened
assholes.
to this dude. I think I would like to retire to a small town in Tasmania called Launceston.
Okay.
And one of the reasons is I was there and I was walking around downtown and, oh, neat. Looks like a Warhammer store. So I went in and I bought a book, which I never read. And then I went back out and then I walked 2 stores down and then all of a sudden another comic book store.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, that's brilliant. There's like 2 of these in a very small town. And then I walked around the corner of the block and there was like one of those war games stores right there. It was all within like 100-yard radius. It was brilliant.
I'd love to find like a real nerdy town that you just like, yeah, we're really nerdy, so what?
Yeah, we don't reproduce.
We just make a commune in the highlands of Tasmania and we just ship in Warhammer and D&D.
Absolutely. And then
No
we set up
girls
like a cross
allowed.
between an internet cafe and a deli, but we only let our friends in, and then everybody gets free deli meats, right? And then eventually one of us becomes the mayor. I actually Googled once the current mayor of Launceston, and I thought, you know what? I could at least take this guy in a fight.
Yeah,
Easy.
which is how they settle the mayorship in Tasmania.
Yeah, that's right. You stand in the middle of the triangle that intersects the 3 war game stores.
Yeah, and you have the ultimate war game. I never
Yu-Gi-Oh!
fucking understood Yu-Gi-Oh! Because half my friends play it, but like you look at one of those cards and it is just a
Oh, I can't do
nightmare.
that.
It is-
Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays goes completely over my head. They got like synchro summons and link monsters and XYZ materials, but it's not XYZ Dragon Canyon. It's a whole goddamn novel on the cards.
It's like,
I have only ever seen the show, and that thing does not seem to have any rules at all.
yeah, those motherfuckers just making shit up on the fly.
You can't use 2 beast cards on one deck without sacrificing at least a spirit card. And you, what? Who? Where did that happen? And then
What the-
Yu-Gi-Oh! Immediately does it anyway without sacrificing the spirit
He just called the main character Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, good old Yu-Gi-Oh!
card. And then he looks like he's, oh no, Yugi, you've lost all your life points. But then he's like, hold on a minute, I've got the heart of the cards. What does that mean? And then all of a sudden his poor life points
He
come
just
back.
pulls out a gun.
Did you ever watch Yu-Gi-Oh?
I did. I was obsessed with it as a kid. But you're right. It has such little bearing on the actual game. I like to imagine the card designers just saw every episode come out and they're just like, fuck. How are we going to keep up with, like, because obviously kids are going to buy the decks being like, I want to do Yuki's cool move.
Blue Eyes White Dragon, please.
I remember as a kid looking up the cards and the descriptions are completely different to the show and being really disappointed. I also think some kids stole my cards. I'm not sure.
I know who it was. It was that goddamn Kaiba.
That goddamn Kaiba came to rural New Zealand and stole my deck that was probably worth $20 maximum.
He held your grip.
Dude, he'd do that. You know he would. Kaiba do that shit. I had a friend who took one of my cards and he fucking pissed on it. He didn't even like go somewhere else to piss on it. He literally peed his pants and let the pee drip down from his like shorts onto the card. One, I'm mad that he peed on my card. I don't want that anymore. And two, it's like you just peed your pants. Why? What's the joke here? What's the gotcha right now, huh? Why do that? To this day, I still don't understand.
Grandfather to ransom, and he wanted a dark wizard card. I think Yugi has the. I don't know if his name is Yu-Gi-Oh or Yugi.
His name's Yugi, and then when he turns into the version of him that's trapped in the Millennium Puzzle, he's Yummy Yugi.
I forgot about that. The Millennium Puzzle.
Yeah.
And don't forget the Millennium Eye, Yug.
And that's right. Either he can like see under Yugi's clothes with it or something.
His facial expression would just change when he goes between the two. He had the most bizarre hair of any anime
It did
character
piss
I've
me
ever
off.
seen. It was like, what is even happening?
Yeah,
With that, it's like
yeah.
3 different colors, and it's almost a pyramid.
At least like most anime characters here, it's like stupid, but you're like, okay, theoretically with enough hair gel, you could make that happen. Like clouds hair or something.
Yeah.
Like that's just a blonde guy with spiky like shaped hair. And then Joey's just from Brooklyn for some reason, even though it's like set in Japan.
you, where, say, yeah.
Baby dragon!
Didn't it, wait, wasn't this in a video?
Yeah, I also did a video.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Which you can click on the
Oh.
top.
Yeah,
right
we,
corner of the
don't
screen
do
right
that,
now.
don't do that, don't click on that. Alright, listen up, Mini Cooters, I've got your granddad. I'm gonna expose him to my gamma radiation card.
I'm gonna play a mountain and tap it and cast lightning bolt on your
Are you
force-
turning Egyptian right now?
You've already done this joke before. Don't
What?
make me do blackface.
You're just in denial, Mini Cooters.
Man, you need to start finding someone else to do these.
Alright, thanks for being on. I'll catch you later.
Oh, we'll see you at well, we got D&D tonight, and then you said you're coming around for Magic tomorrow. and
my mum's
then
coming home soon, I
we'll
gotta go.
We've got Yu-Gi-Oh the day after that, and then we're going to be watching Game of Thrones the day after that. Warhammer, I think, is booked in on Sunday. So
I've got some terrible news.
oh,
This is historian,
oh,
internet historian's wife.
oh, okay, nice.
He has died. He won't be
Aw.
able to make any of those appointments. Don't contact this number again.
I'm at your
Goodbye.
door looking at you, though.
Goodbye. Please
we've been
respect
talk-
our privacy.
We've been talking face to
in this
face.
time of bereavement.
I'm looking at you.
Goodbye. Do not forget World of Tanks.
Alright, well that was fun. That was fun.